I used to pride myself in being a perfectionist. I don't know how many of you out there think that being a perfectionist is a great thing. I was under the illusion that perfectionism was something to strive for. What I didn't realize at the time was I was simply using perfectionism as a way of avoiding criticism and the pain of shame at any cost. In fact, I remember myself saying these exact words. My boss will have nothing to say about what I send to him. Instead of inviting feedback, growth, and opportunities for my ideas, confronting, being combined with his to do something better, I wanted it to stay as I had planned because anything that sounded like it was not good enough meant that I was not good enough. And this is how we fall into the trap of unworthiness by striving for perfectionism, by becoming hyperachievers instead of high achievers, by wanting to control everything as if we were the general managers of the universe instead of co-participants in this beautiful dance called life. So if anything I have said up until now resonates, then you may be in the trap of unworthiness, where you are not coming to projects, not coming to life, not coming to relationships, not coming to striving for your vision from a place where you know you're already worthy, but from a place where you feel the need to work for worthiness. And this causes a burnout because if you are hyperachieving, where there is no longer any respect for rest, relaxation, and recreation, if you begin to understand that your worth is tied to your output, how much and how well you're able to do, when, and it is a when, not an if, when things don't work out, when you, in quotes, fail, when there is feedback which you receive as criticism and feel shame about, then your level of self-worth will automatically feel extremely low. And so you work overtime. You work as much as you can. You do not have any respect for the ebbs and flows of life. Because for you, your worthiness is hinged to your productivity. And when you are not producing, when you are not doing, when you are not in activity, then you do not feel worthy of love, respect, admiration. And this causes burnout, where you start feeling like you're going through the motions, but your soul has departed. This is exactly how I felt. At some point in time, I was working with the intensity of a Formula One driver and the dedication of a doctor on call. I wasn't doing this for a few weekends. I was doing this year in, year out. At some point, my body started screaming at me. It came to a screeching halt because it basically was saying to me, I'm no longer participating in your nonsense. There is absolutely no need to hide behind a facade of perfectionism. What we truly want to go towards is authenticity. Authenticity has nothing to do with being perfect. Authenticity has nothing to do with showing a facade that we think the world wants to see so that we can then be loved based on what we are showing. It's not playing to the gallery. Authenticity is about showing up as you are in all of your flawsomeness, knowing that you are not perfect, knowing that you are partly flawed and you are partly awesome. And this is what makes you human. This is what makes you delightful. This is how you bring your medicine to the world. Because if you were born without any flaws at all, then where is the excitement, the opportunity, the joy of learning? How do you learn empathy and humility? How can you then consciously walk people through a path that you have no idea about? How do you know what it feels like to be heartbroken or to be betrayed or to be impatient or to always feel frustrated or maybe lack gratitude? And because you've walked yourself from those ways of being to ways of beings that now serve you, you can share and inspire and even teach other people. The world does not need perfection. The world needs connection. And if you are moving through life with the whip of unworthiness being brandished, then you will feel very uncomfortable showing up and sharing your flaws authentically because you already feel unworthy. You are not going to want to have any other reasons, any other stones people can throw at you because you already feel bad enough. And how do we break away from this whip? It's really important that we shift away from the saboteur operating system that keeps us running on that treadmill of hyperachieving, perfectionism, and even control. The way to run away from the whip is to truly rewire our brains, to rewire how we show up, rewire our nervous systems, to step away from the understanding that your worth as a woman has anything to do with what you have produced, and you understand that you and your worth has everything to do with who you are becoming, and that you, in yourself, you are the medicine the world needs. And so this is why it's super important that as you go forth and you tune into what you want to do, you look at what destiny you want to walk, and you start striving towards that, what kind of life you want to have, that above all, you are intentional about the woman who you're becoming in order to have that life. And when you truly realize that you're already worthy and you step up to every table, knowing that you no longer need to hustle for worthiness, there you stand in inner peace and power. There you know that no matter what happens, whether it's a tremendous success or a resounding failure, you are still worthy. And you can simply relate with every experience as a learning opportunity, as an opportunity to celebrate, but nothing to do with who you truly are and what you're truly worth. So my invitation, why am I making this video, is because many, many, many incredibly talented women are going through life with the whip of unworthiness being brandished, and by no one other than themselves. So if you know that you suffer from unworthiness, you have imposter syndrome, that you are often approaching everything with that lens of, how can this make me feel more worthy? Then I invite you to connect with me today. The journey is one that is so powerful. It's so magical. Things my clients share with me after having embarked on this journey are just incredible. You take your sovereignty back. No matter what's happening in your external environment, you begin to truly understand that no one and nothing can dictate how you show up, how you feel, what thoughts you think. And so this is about stepping into your phenomenal feminine power. And so there's no longer a whip of unworthiness being brandished to drive you forwards. This is you being essence inspired to be the best version of yourself, so you can create the maximum amount of impact in this world. You can make that difference that you were born to make. I'd love to know what you heard. I am excited about this journey of rekindling a phenomenal feminine, and reach out. Let's connect. Love and light.